এবারে টান আর ডাক দিতে নয়
সব সাইন্স সাইডে থেকে ঠিক আছে
হ্যালো
কথা লাগে মাথা মিট দিয়ে ভিডিও ঢুকে না তো মানুষ
ওই পতাকা কানা হয়ে কোন না
বাইরে হয়ে বলি আর
বাইরে
After the passing of many moons, and when there was great sorrow in the land, a spirit pitying the wants and miseries of men descended from heaven with a huge basket filled with diamonds. It flew over the land sowing diamonds as it went. Along the way, it was caught in the branches of a great camel thorn tree and upset its basket, showering the earth with glittering diamonds.
This story begins on the banks of the Orange River in the year 1866. Small hands plainly happened upon an unusual pebble. It became the favourite plaything of young Erasmus Jacobs. And on a day not unlike any other, it caught the eye of a visiting neighbour, Skulk van de Kerk.
Wat is speciaal aan dit klippie? Mag ek hom koop?
Vat dit, tegen niks.
The curious pebble crossed many unbelieving hands, from Hopetown to Colesberg and Grahamstown, landing finally in the hands of geologist Dr. William Atherstone. Dr. Atherstone confirmed the improbable that this was indeed a diamond. With that, news of the Eureka's discovery travelled to the distant corners of the globe. The Greeks believed diamonds were tears of the gods. The Romans believed they were splinters of fallen stars. And for Indra, the Hindu warrior god, diamonds were weapons, sharp and fatal, like a thunderbolt. For centuries, people have sought the divine and the mystical in diamonds. And now I am among men who continue the pilgrimage. I landed in the Cape of Good Hope on November the 12th, 1871. There were so many hopeful men with me that I had great difficulty in booking my place on a passenger wagon travelling to the diamond fields. The road ahead is vast and foreboding. I pity those wretched travellers who make this journey alone and on foot.
Hoshi ya ka sekukune ke ena a ntumetseng lefelong la ditaemane. Mošomo wa ka ke go direla batho ba bašo tšhelete. Re mo kotsing, re phela komelelong e kgolo gape re nyaka ditlhabane tsa go tšhireletša go merafe mengwe.
I have seen many unlikely things as a travel writer. Most unlikely is that this unforgiving path could lead to wealth.
Ke dikgwedi tse robedi bjalo ke tlogile bathong ba gešo. Leetelo le sa swanelang go feta dibeke. Molemo wa leburu gaufi la Rustenburg o nkgapeleditse go kgaotsa leeto la ka gomme ka šoma dipolaseng tsa gagwe dikgwedi pele ke feta go tsona. Ke a tshepa bjalo mafelo a le a ditaemane a gaufi.
Some 10,000 blacks come to the diggings from great distances each year, some as far as 1,000 miles. New Rush is a haphazard arrangement of shacks, shanties and huts clustered around the Colesberg Koppie, which is fast becoming a vast heaving crater. Hillock teems with labourers and brawny white men, butchers, bakers, gamblers, lawyers and loafers, all jumbled together in a mushrooming landscape of pits, picks and shovels. What were once roadways between claims have become fragile bridges, barely wide enough for horse and cart. It's downright dangerous. It is rumoured that the whole hillock could cave in and become a grave to thousands. Several pieces have already crumbled and collapsed in on hapless diggers below.
He saw with his own eyes. Right over his head. The wheelbarrow.
Deaths and lucky escapes are gruesome talking points throughout the camps. Champagne Charlie, as he's known in these parts, is one of the most flamboyant characters on this dusty stage. When he arrived at the diggings earlier this year, he was dismissed as little more than a deserter from a sailing ship, with a weakness for beer and beautiful women. That all changed the day he found a large dark green diamond, the likes of which had never been seen before. Charlie was elevated to the toast of the town, and his credit in the local stores and pubs reached record highs. Then, one day, the deserter from sea deserted the diggings, leaving behind him a string of creditors and one large, green, quite worthless piece of glass. For the most part, men and women in the camps live the sober side of life, far from the romantic picture that fortune seekers imagine. They endure back-breaking work sorting for diamonds under the burning sun. It is a world of dust, drought and flies. The shortage of water is chronic, and it's almost impossible to wash. Diarrhea, dysentery and skin disease are common in the camps. The deadly conditions do nothing to dissuade people from this frenzied hunt. They are spurred on each day by stories of remarkable finds. Herbert Rhodes, a cotton farmer from Natal, had not been at the dig a few months when he was reported to have found a diamond weighing 20 carats.
19.
In the months following, he continued to strike it rich, hauling in some 100 carats.
No, indeed. 20 carats.
Umaburi maisimana ka uswana. Kinoba moshoma o lefela tšhelete nyane. Ke go la ka fatshe ga dišhelene tsa mashome a mabedi ka beke. Mme mogolo a go a fokotswa ge ke sa tlisa merwalo e boema tšatši ka letšatši. Go makgowa ka moka rena ba magodi a didaemane. Ga ba nyake batho ba batsho ba be le mafelwana a bona meplana. Ba re se se dira gore go be le bothata wa go tseba phapano magareng a legodi la didaemane le moepo wa tsona. Le ge go le bjalo ke batho batsho ba go feta legolo ba ba nang le mafelwana a bona a go epa. Ga bo le o tee wa bona yo a setseng a hweditse lehumo.
The only blacks who are striking it rich in this town are the Basuto and Swana people. They come to market each week with their supplies: wheat, maize, firewood, goat's milk and vegetables. The South Suto and Swana are entrepreneurs who do excellent business in the marketplace. But the queues for goods seem a little shorter to me of late. It appears that the stones are petering out. In past months, diggers have struck a firmer, blue-coloured ground. Perhaps the mines are exhausted. Disillusioned miners are selling their claims for a song.
Unshoveled, a 40-carat stone 2 days ago. And now,
Most of their goods ended up under the hammer of that famous auctioneer, the Baron Rothschild.
this is a diamondiferous shovel. A diamondiferous shovel. And it's shoveled up a 40-carat stone.
With the departure of the disenchanted has come the arrival of new hopefuls. Most notably, a young man by the name of Barney Bonato. He crossed the Karoo on foot and confidently sauntered into town with little more than 40 boxes of doubtful cigars. He was strongly advised to take the next wagon back.
Good luck.
The wily young Bernardo is undeterred.
Your travel stuff.
You will see him in town doing just about anything for a few pounds.
Morning, morning. Come on, roll it up, lads. Some of the finest spices, I tell you. Bargains, everybody.
Yeah, morning.
Born 1 year to the day after the flamboyant Bernardo is another notable young man on the diggings. His name is Cecil John Rhodes, but he could not be more different. He is sickly, anemic, and withdrawn. But despite his delicate disposition, he has made a name for himself as an astute businessman.
February 1874. Calamity strikes. Heavy rains have flooded all 4 mines and work has come to a standstill. November the 20th, 1874. A great landslip has buried claims worth tens of thousands of pounds. The number of men dead is unknown.
I must own that I am beginning to feel some alarm at the future of the diamond fields. Everyone is on the point of despair. White diggers turn to men of God in these times,